Afternoon, everyone. Dr. Vaughn again. I am going to look at another question. This is number 10 from your Chapter 15 assignment. And basically, they don't give you the data. And so normally you would have Excel kind of generate all of this output for you. And here they want you to just kind of fill in the boxes. But they did give you some of the numbers. So this is like a big puzzle. And what I would suggest that you do to solve this puzzle is to refer back to maybe question 3 or question 4 from this assignment where they did give you data, and then run the multiple regression. So here's the spring houses data. I think this is from problem 4. And here's the output from running a regression with the Y variable being the selling price and having 3, X1, X2, X3, baths, square foot, and bedrooms. And so one thing in particular I want to point out is that the degrees of freedom under the regression is 3. And so this 3 is corresponding to the 3 different independent variables here. And now we're going to look at another data set, and this is on auto resale. I think this is the previous problem. And here, again, I have the Excel output for the multiple regression. Here you have price as being the independent variable, and then mileage and age as being, price as being the dependent variable, and mileage and age as being the independent. And once again, the regression degrees of freedom corresponds to the 2 variables, the X1 and X2. All right, so now let's take a look at this page over here. What we see here is we have 2 independent variables, high school grade point average and SAT mathematics score. And that tells me that the degrees of freedom here is going to be 2. All right, and the next thing that I want to do is put in the residuals. So again, look back at these other ones. This is just like any other ANOVA table. The degrees of freedom sum, 3 plus 22 equals 25. And so here, 2 plus blank equals 9. So therefore, I know that this blank has to be 7. All right, now the sum of squares, they also add, and you can see that on these other ones. It's true of any ANOVA. Now, it's kind of hard to see on this particular one because it's a really large number, but these do add. It might be better on the other one. Well, that's a really large number too. But anyway, this plus this has to equal that on the sum of squares. And so we're going to do the same thing here. I know this is 1.76209, this is 1.88. Now I can just use my calculator and subtract 1.88 minus 1.76209. 1.88 minus 1.76209 equals. Okay, so this is 0.11791. All right, now the mean square is going to be the sum of squares divided by the degrees of freedom. And again, you can look at this on your other one. This is true of any ANOVA table, not just one that has to do with a regression. So now I'm going to take that 1.76209 and divide by 2 to get 0.881045. And same thing here, 0.11791 divided by 7. 0.11791 divided by 7. So I get 0.01684429. I'm just going to enter all of the decimals that I can. Now, the F is the mean square of the regression divided by the mean square of the residual. Okay, so I'll take the 0.88. I'm actually just doing the reciprocal of that second number because I had it in my calculator already, and then I'm going to times it by 0.881045. All right, so 0.88 divided by 0.016 gives me an F value of 52.305. I'm not going to do the rest of the decimals at this point. And then finally, you want to translate this F value into a P value, a significance level. This is where you might need to use, either a table of F values or the F calculator, the F dist in Excel to actually figure out the P value. So I got you most of the way through this ANOVA table. And then based upon these numbers, you can figure out these numbers. And then based upon these numbers, you can find the p-values that go with them. And then, based on the sum of squares, you can figure out what these numbers are up here. in the number of observations as well is going to be probably 10 because you have a total of degrees of freedom. Well, anyway, I'm going to stop at this point, and I'm going to make another video where we try to fill in the rest of these blanks. I just wanted to get this one out as quickly as I can so you can at least get started on this, and then maybe you can look back through your book to see exactly how these numbers come from these numbers and how these numbers come from these numbers over here. So anyway, long story short, there's no technology that's necessary. It's a little puzzle. Start with the ANOVA and then kind of work your way out from there. And I will make another video in just a minute.